Hello, hello, hello. It's celebration time. Hello, Tammy. Hi, Marilyn. Hello, everyone. Shoshana, BC. Welcome, welcome, welcome to me. Welcome, Jennifer and others. How are you? Chibundu, welcome. Dr. Zoe, yo yo. Yinka, welcome, welcome. Yamor, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Asdavika. Hey, so nice to have all of you here. Pastor Pell, thank you. Hey, ho. Caroline, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you guys here today. And honestly, I don't take it for granted. And it's because, every week, this is the 5th episode, and every week you've all been coming and helping and supporting and encouraging. And for that, I say thank you so much. Those who keep sharing the post, those who repost it, those, you guys have shown us so much love from the very first day. I mean, the first time we were not even sure if we're going to have another one, but you guys were so into it. And for that, we say, thank you. God bless you. My prayer is that anytime you need help, God will always send you help in your time of need. So thank you so much for joining. There might be other people joining us today. Thank you so much. Wow. I really appreciate you all. Ladies and gentlemen, because I know there's some gentlemen that also join us. God bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you, every single one of you. And those that, it's not too late, you can still share this with your friends so that they can join. But we've had so many people joining. Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. But thank you. God bless you. God bless you. May God be kind to you always. May you never lack any good thing. You'll never lack his kindness. You'll never lack his love. He'll always be there for you. He's yours. He'll be there for you every time you need it. Just as you've been there for us, just as you supported this Hangout thing that we're not even sure how it's going to pan out, but you've been there. So I celebrate you. Today we're celebrating all of you. It's VE Day, those who live in England, it's VE Day, which means Victory in Europe Day, and that was because 75 years ago, Britain and its allies defeated they surrendered, and that's why it's known as VE Day. So that happened 75 years ago. So today we're going to be talking about victory. We're going to be talking about courage. We're going to be talking about winning. And of course, you all know our guest barrister. Today is TJ. Last week, TJ started giving us some serious nuggets, but then the internet messed up. So we're going to start. He'll finish talking a bit about dreams, and then we'll go on to nuggets. Sorry, I said nuggets. We'll go on to winning, and then we'll see how it goes. But ladies, before I go, can you see? I'm celebrating. So I've got my red. You remember, red is red, blue, and white. So I've got my red top. I've got my blue earrings, and of course the shirt has white. So I hope you're all wearing something with red, blue, or white to celebrate VE Day. Especially if you live in the UK. Okay, before we go on, because we've got loads to cover, before we go on, I've got something special. Remember I said it's special starter. If you saw the menu for today, it's a special starter. But actually, before we go there, can we do a special hugs, virtual hugs? Let's hug ourselves, hug somebody, just hug. I'm giving you I'm sending hugs your way. I can't see the hugs. You guys have to hug me back. I can't see the hugs. Yes, thank you, Caroline. I can see that now. Yvonne, yes. I can see the hugs. Thank you. Loads more. Yes. It's so nice to be hugged. It's so nice to feel, hugging just tells you somebody cares. Somebody cares about you. They feel you. Pastor B, I don't know what that is. It looks like a cap or something. It's not a hug. But thank you everyone for hugging. For hugging. Hug, hug. Yes. Okay. Now we're going on to a special starter. You know, if this Hangout Cafe was live, if I or rather if I was hanging out with my friends, hey Yolanda, if I was hanging out with my friends, this is what I would expect. I would love to go out, hang out with them, and then maybe we might, wherever we go to, another set of friends will come and we'll all become friends. That is what I would love. And that's what I'm hoping that one day when we have the physical Hangout Cafe, we'll be able to do that. So, I go out to a cafe with my friends, meet another set of friends. They'll become friends. They don't have to be best friends, but they'll eventually become friends. Hi, Pamela. So, that has been my dream, and that is still my dream. But I remember, I think it was the second episode, Abby Liverbeard actually asked the question. She typed in the question and she said, has anyone made friends since Hangout Cafe started? And I remember I said, no, I don't think so. I think it's too soon. And I left it. I just didn't even think about it. But guess what? During the week, someone sent me a message to say that she actually made friends with another lady. They became friends on Hangout Cafe. I think it was either 2 weeks ago or so. And I was so excited. I was super excited. I was like, oh my goodness, I have to bring you on. This is our first friendship that was formed through, at least as far as I know, through the Hangout Cafe. So I am super excited. And I said to them, I'm going to do something special. I don't do it all. I'm not going to do it all the time, but I'm going to do it something special. So I'm going to bring on the lady, or ladies rather, who met up on Hangout Cafe. If let's see if I can. Where are they now? Yes, I'm going to bring up the first person. I think I got the wrong person. Okay, I'm going to try again. Yep. Okay. Let's see if she's going to join. Hey! Hi, Ceci.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Tell us quickly, how did you meet this person? Don't tell us her name yet because I'm going to bring her up.
That's fine. So it was a comment and we're talking, I think Absavika mentioned this Saturday about the day to commemorate. Sorry, I'm not wearing blue or red or white yet.
It's okay.
I was gonna wear a blue top actually, but yeah. So I found the person in the comments, and then it was literally, we're like, yeah, it's our birthday, so it's my birthday today, and she said it's her birthday.
Yes,
and then I was like,
today.
yeah, let me add you. And yeah, that's how we started talking, and we're just talking normally. I'm like, oh, okay, happy birthday, da da da. I'm not gonna ruin the surprise. She might tell you.
Yes.
And so yeah, we started talking there, and I found out we have so much in common.
Yes.
So much more than you think,
Really?
And, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm East African, she's Nigerian. I'm Tanzanian, she's Nigerian. But it's so amazing how I just met her in the comments, and I'm like, okay, let me just add her, because I didn't add that many people who said it's their birthday today, but it was just her. And wow. It turns out she will tell you. But yeah,
okay.
It's
thank
amazing.
you.
So thank you for the platform.
No problem.
And thank
happy
you,
birthday,
everybody.
Can we wish Ceci happy birthday? And it's her 30th birthday today.
Imagine. Woo! God, it's so good.
I hope you're going to cut a cake today.
Yes, I'm waiting for there is a cake, and I'm waiting for another cake. There's so much cake. I'm eating already. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
And thank you, everybody. Thank you for the comments. Thank you, Absavika. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you, Dr. Zion. So
love you, lots.
Love you so much.
Take care. Bye. Okay, let's bring up the second person now. Where is she? I hope she's on. If you're on, please send me a request. I can see she's not on. Oh no, she's not. Let's see, is she going to send me a request? Okay, maybe she'll come in later. Because I can't see. Okay, let me see if she sent a request now. No, she's not. Okay. All right. Without much ado, nope, nope, no, no, no. Oops. Okay. We'll probably, hopefully, she'll join us later. Maybe she's like Cecil said, she's in Nigeria. So last week again, like I said, we had TJ, and this week we're going to be talking about win, what it means to win. And before I bring on TJ, I was just thinking about it. For me, winning is, just getting out of my bed every day. I mean, I'm not employed by anyone. So I don't have to get out every day. But for me, it's making that conscious effort to actually get out of bed every day. It's a win. And also things like completing a task, things like even this Hangout cafe, for me, it's a win. I was thinking about it this morning because we don't have Abs the Big Cat with us today. And I was thinking, oh my God, why am I doing this? Can I do this? So that I'm here without Abs the Big Cat to hold my hands. It's a win. But, I really miss Abs the Big Cat. But she's going to be back soon. And even things like, in fact, for me, really, this thing is coming out of my comfort zone, because everyone that knows me, they know that this is totally out of my comfort zone. I'm not comfortable talking on the camera. I'm not comfortable selling myself. I'm not one of those that just, people that can think out of the box. I'm not like that. But so for me, doing this is winning. I know when I was thinking about it again, I thought winning is, yes, I just think that winning is making your bed. Thank you for Pastor Pell for mentioning that, because that was something else I was going to talk about. There's a book I read called Make Your Bed by a guy called William McRaven, and he says that it starts with the small things, the little things that you do as soon as you get out of bed. That is winning. So yeah, okay, going back. So I was just thinking about winning again, and I thought winning is about running my God-ordained race. It is not about running another person's race, because I'm not going to be judged by another person's race. So for me, winning is just staying on my lane and doing what God has asked me to do. And that for me is winning. But I'm going to come back and talk about that again. So, but let's go back. Let's invite TJ now to come and talk to us about the dream first. Yeah. So waiting for TJ to come. Oh, last week TJ was just, the little that we heard from TJ was just awesome. So we can't wait to get him back to talk about dreams and winning. And hey TJ, how are you?
You call me eating plantain. I'm really sorry. Winning for me right now is
that plantain chips?
So,
as in fried plantain?
No. Soft plantain from the homeland. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How's it going, Auntie?
Good, not bad. And you?
Yeah, all good. All good. I was indulging in the fine life. Plantain, about 3 or 4 days old.
Okay.
And some fresh scrambled eggs. So
I do like soft plantain. Unfortunately, I don't like.
It's the best.
Plantain.
It's the best. We have this dispute in my house.
No!
My mom prefers hard plantain. My sister is somewhere in between. The softer, the better. In fact, if it's falling out when it's coming out of the frying pan, it's just perfect.
Really?
Just perfect. So yeah.
Oh no.
That's the best.
No.
The softer.
Okay, I'm sure people. Let's see how many people say they agree with soft plantain, hard plantain, or you're in between. Let's see. How many people agree are like TJ? They like soft plantain. Someone says it's absolutely the best. No, it's too soft. Soft plantain. Oh yeah, you're like me. No. Soft plantain is the best, really. Okay. It looks like more people are on your side. Some people are in between. Oh, okay. But TJ,
See, most people steak. Maybe it's the Nigerian thing because Nigerians are used to cooking steak, but I compare it to steak. Nobody wants.
Oh, the thing keeps
Hard
going in and out.
steak. You want a medium steak, chewy, soft on the inside, a little bit of red, well cooked. I'm calling it. Well, my mom has already told you guys I can't cook anyway, so I'm not sure. I think I'm still.
Yes, you're still on. It's just that it keeps.
She's still there.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. Yeah. Yeah. So no, I was just saying. In short, the softer the somebody. I don't know. Is it semi? Medium rare. That is steak and plantain. Soft.
Oh no! I hope this internet is not going to mess up us today. It's breaking up, TJ. It's breaking. I can't. Yeah, I think there's still network issues. We can't hear you, TJ. Oh no, no, no! We don't want this to happen now. Oh no. Okay, TJ, why don't you, if you can hear me, why don't you come out and then come back again? Okay, what I'll do, I'll remove TJ and then get him back on again. Let's hope that I'll try again now. Okay, hopefully he'll come back. Oh no, what is the matter? We prayed, Abs and I, we prayed today. This internet thing, I rebuke you in Jesus' name. Soft or hard plantain? Nah, not for me. TJ, if you can hear me, please request again and I will add you on. So anyway, whilst we're waiting for him to come back on, I'm sure if you look at the dictionary definition of winning, it will say things like where you succeed, where you competed against someone and you're the number one person. But I came across a definition by a gentleman called Gillian Tojo. Gillian Jotnet, sorry. He's one of the endurance athletes in the world. In fact, probably one of the number one endurance athletes in the world. And he said something. He said, he wrote a book called Run or Die. No, it's TJ that I want. Let me see. Oh, let me see if I can get him back on. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay, let's try again now. Lola, I don't know if Lola, did you send me? Oh, it's coming over as okay. Now I understand. Okay. Okay, TJ is coming out. I think he's using his sister's Instagram login now. So let's hope that. Okay. Yes.
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Is it better?
Good.
Yes, I can hear you.
It's better. Yeah, we can hear you now.
It's better now, yeah? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I had to switch devices. So...
okay. I mean, it's a bit slow, but I think we can
What was the final poll on the plantain?
I think most people are on your side, TJ. So, okay. It's okay. Well, I'll stick to my hard plantain. Okay. So, TJ, last week we started talking about dreams and what dreaming. What I think the question was, what is dream? Sorry.
It's a dream. Is it dream?
Yes. Will you allow yourself to dream again? Now, when you were off, I was going to give them a definition of winning that I came across, and this definition would tie in perfectly with our topic today, which is winning. And this guy called Gillian Jonat said that winning isn't about finishing in first place. He said it isn't about beating others. It's about overcoming yourself, overcoming your body, your limitations, and your fears. Then he ends up by saying, winning means surpassing yourself and turning your dreams into reality. So he ended up by saying, winning means surpassing yourself and turning your dreams into reality. So let's start with dreams from last week, and then let's go into winning. So, TJ.
Okay. Dreams. So I think I said something which the feedback I got was a little bit controversial in that I said the dreams can be nightmares. But I also said that there was a quote that I saw that said, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. And I've been seeing a lot of stuff, even to very much support.
Even in the word, sorry, come with it then. You said
that mindset. Sorry, I said I've been seeing things in the week since we last spoke that kind of affirmed that to me, in the sense that anything that I've ever tried to do has always scared me. People that know me know that I like to take risks. Sometimes dumbfounded, sometimes and in fact, to be honest, because it's a risk, you can't really do a feasibility study on a risk. You really can't. You can say, I think the closest you can do is you can say high risk, medium risk, low risk. But doing a probability is a mathematical calculation. You can't do a mathematical calculation on something that isn't yet proven.
True.
So it's just a risk. I'm very, very risk averse. So I've come to see dreaming as taking risks, diving into the unknown, and taking a risk doesn't mean you don't have fear.
No, you do.
Because I think when we see a lot of people that we celebrate, celebrate their success, absence of the knowledge of the risk that they took. And as they say, people often 10 years of hard work can look like overnight success. And that I'm sure you've seen that meme of the iceberg. People don't realize the majority of the iceberg is below water, right? So the little bit that you see is the success, but underneath the water is the risk. Underneath the water is the fear, is the sleepless nights, is the doubt. You know what I mean? Is the people telling you can't do it. What are you doing? That's crazy. But for me, when people tell you you're crazy, you're onto something. You are really onto something. I'm part of a studio right now. Like, honestly, like, yes, okay, go against the grain or whatever, but once I hear that's crazy, or we stumbled across it, we don't know how we did it, I'm part of a studio.
It's never been
and
done
sorry,
before.
this is a cheap plug. Or it's never been done before. The studio I'm part of, Magic Carpet Studios, right? As a studio, we create animation in a country that doesn't understand the potential of animation, that thinks it's just for kids, right? We just started a learning platform called Ultra, online entertainment. We're not doing anything that, for all intents and purposes, is crazy. But sometimes crazy can be the environment and how people perceive things. So sometimes you're actually not crazy. The people that are crazy are the people who are not brave enough to perceive that actually what you're doing has been done before.
TJ, I love that. I love that.
So,
can you repeat
so that's boy, I was overheating when I was saying that. I was simply saying that sometimes the real people who are crazy are the people who are unable to perceive that what you're doing has been done before. It might not manifest in the same exact way, but it is very much possible. So sometimes being crazy is just saying, let me do what others didn't think to do. I lived in Dubai for 3.5 years, right? And there were millionaires who had started grocery delivering services, logistics services. So in England, we're used to Tesco delivering, we're used to Waitrose delivering, and Sainsbury's delivering. In Dubai, they didn't have that. In Spinneys and the supermarkets, they didn't have that. So a guy literally got some guys on bikes, got some refrigerated trucks, and got people to deliver. And people are like, millionaire makes loads of money, but he hasn't really done anything crazy. He's just taken a step to do
Oh wow, this internet. Why? Why is this internet doing this to us today? TJ, we can hear you again. The internet's gone.
Hello?
Yes, you went off for a
Okay.
bit. Yes, back up a bit.
So the guys in Dubai didn't say, oh, this is something crazy, outrageous. Sometimes it's just doing what's right in front of you, what's obvious. So sometimes people that do stuff and they don't have two minds, they're not necessarily extraordinary. They
Yeah,
just do it. That's literally
just
what
do
it is.
it.
They do it. They see, okay, this has been done before. So for me, dreaming can be doing something that scares you. Sometimes dreaming can be doing something that scares somebody else. That's why we often say, if you don't do it,
Somebody
somebody
else
else
will do
will,
it. Yes. Yeah.
right? So yeah, so your dream doesn't have to be, I spent many nights trying to do this or thinking how I was going to do this and it scared me and people thought I was crazy. Sometimes it might be filling a gap where somebody else didn't see the opportunity.
Dreaming can be filling a
That could be
gap in
your
someone
dream.
else.
So
Okay, go on. Yeah.
yes, yeah. So it can be filling a gap in the sense that we've come to see dreams as it came from within. I wrote down my notes, I wrote down my business plan, but I was scared to execute it. And that is a form of a dream. But sometimes you can discover a dream in fulfilling something that was simply just an opportunity. That is the fundamentals of being an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur, so by every intents and definition, I am crazy. Now, I found myself working in an animation
Yeah.
studio. My path has never been straight. I didn't want to go to university. I wanted to join the Air Force. I ended up going to university. I was in Nigeria. My mom literally was calling universities trying to get me in through clearing. I started with politics and law, moved to politics and international relations. Failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. Not because of capability, but for another reason. Let's just leave that there because
Yeah,
that could be a whole different topic. But the point of the matter is I graduated. I finished my last exam at 2
yeah.
p.m. It was a Thursday. I was on a flight to Dubai at 8 p.m. that same day. I took my luggage to my exam. I had decided I was moving to Dubai. I didn't know what I was going to
Right.
do. I worked in sales, going from door to door in 50 degrees heat. Moved on from there to being head of a department, moving on from there to working for the Dubai World Trade Center.
Wow.
I then said I was going to move back to Nigeria, ran away from Nigeria, went back to England, worked in church, which again was probably coming from a country where I was in an Islamic environment. And
Oh,
again, not that
TJ.
I'm a Muslim, but it was not the plan. I was working in church with one of my favorite aunts. Shout out to Auntie Marilyn. Literally, we used to eat all the church food and pretend to be sending emails, but that's another story. I did
I'm
that.
sure, did your
My mom
mom know
said,
that,
just
that you guys were eating all the food?
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. But we literally, from there, I moved to Nigeria, penniless. I had gone back to England. I was like, I'm going to save, save, save. My mom said, just go. I came back. I started a trucking business, failed miserably. And this is from days and days and days of waking up at 4, 5 a.m., driving from
Okay.
Lagos to Abeokuta. Somebody who did not even know island, or rather, somebody who only knew the island. Once I go to the mainland, I'm lost. But I was driving every day to Abeokuta to go and deal with crazy truck people and Chinese guys, right, trying to work on the Lagos Ibadan Railway project. Fast forward, I'm now working in animation. I'm
Right.
creating content. I just helped start a education platform to help people in Nigeria. We're
Okay.
trying to train people. So how can someone tell me that someone who's had that path had that in their dream? Sometimes your dream comes through discovery.
It does.
Sometimes your dream comes through failure. Sometimes your dream comes through
Yeah. Like you
experience.
said, just
So those who don't have
recognizing
a dream,
opportunities. Yeah. Okay.
yes. And if you ask me way back what my dream would have been, I always wanted to be a
Mm,
pilot. I
mm.
always wanted to be a pilot. I love aviation till
Yeah.
today,
Yeah.
right? But even the Wright brothers, when the Wright brothers created the plane, you would have thought they
Yeah.
were crazy. But fortunately, crazy people are drawn to crazy people. Unfortunately,
Crazy
they were
people
brothers,
trust
right?
you.
I'll, yes, so sometimes, so what dreamers have in
Mhm.
common is the ability to just do. Now, that dream might have come from within. That
Dreamers.
dream could have come from seeing from somebody else, but you just do. You go in blind, you go in scared, you go in reluctant, you go in filled with doubt. You have days where you would literally be like, I'm done, right? But then you will find that even within yourself, you're too stubborn to be done. And I speak that
I love
specifically for
that.
me,
I love
right?
that.
So you will be, so you're done, you want to walk away, you will have a tantrum, you will vent, you will pick up the phone and call, I'm done,
But you
I'm
come
out.
back.
Next flight, Shibi, I have a British passport, I'm going back to London. I don't even get in the car. I'm just like, okay, Monday, here we go again. And you pick up speed. That's literally what it is. So sometimes dreaming is just about, just do it. Don't just dream it, do it. That's what I would say. Do it without resources. Do it without encouragement. Because sometimes, I mean, my mom is my biggest mascot. And sometimes me and my mascot, we haven't agreed, right? But the support has been there. My sister's another person who is like, well, she is like, I was gonna say like my sibling. She is my sibling, but you know, the support systems are there. Sometimes they waver too.
Because they're
You know
not
what I
sure.
mean? If you go to a game, I'm a big yes. If you go to a game and you're watching any sports team, the mascot is cheering when a goal is scored. But when you guys are against the ropes, even the mascot sometimes sit down and like, I'm not paid enough for this. You know what I mean? But then when you get back up, that mascot is cheering and leading the crowd. So don't expect I think also for dreamers, don't expect your support systems to always have the strength. Yes, sometimes they will have more strength than you, but they're human too. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. So for me, what does it mean to dare to dream? It means to take risks. It means to fail repeatedly, right? There's an entrepreneur whose name I forget. Yeah, there's an entrepreneur that I follow who says I cannot work with anybody who has not failed a lot. Yes, because that's your CV. CVs today are not university degree, internship, 2 years here, 3 years there. Things have changed. The skills of the future have changed. Just do it. Like, just do it. And as I'm speaking to you right now, God knows I have a lot of stuff on my table, and I'm like, how am I going to do it? But I wake up every day and I just do it. And eventually you will find out that it's done. And that for me is dreaming. Dreaming is
TJ,
doing.
let me ask a question, because I say it to people, and I'm sure you say it to other people too. This thing about just do it. Is there a certain kind of person? And also because you said something about, you want to give up, but you don't. You're stubborn about giving up. Is there a certain kind of person, or is it, what has made you this kind of person? What do you think? Why are you like this? Can we all be like this?
I think everybody is like this, right? But because we tend to categorize and put people in boxes, right? There's a saying that goes, if you don't wake up and fulfill your dream, you will end up working for somebody else's. To work for somebody else's dream, you have to be resilient, right? You have to keep going. Now, do you have more of a safety net? Yes, in that you have a salary. But showing up and getting on with the work is fulfilling somebody else's dream. But in our company, we always like to say that we look out for people who have entrepreneurial traits. And an entrepreneur is just simply an employee on steroids. So, okay, I need to solve. Yeah, it's true. Okay, you might not answer to someone, but there's a lot that's in common with an employee and an entrepreneur. You have to make money. There are KPIs, there's performances. The difference is you're responsible for your performance and tracking your performance. When you work for someone, they track your performance, but you know that you have to perform. So I think that it's depending on who you ask. Is everybody cut out? For me, I would say I've developed this mindset how I am from constantly failing, and I definitely wouldn't have realized it at the times that I was failing, but it was growing me into this. So to become an entrepreneur is a risk. Being an entrepreneur involves taking risks. And it's from those risks that you will kind of discover your appetite for entrepreneurship, right? And that appetite might be big, and that is maybe large scale companies doing what has never been done before. It might be small, and then that might be the person who has a 9 to 5 and says, I want to set up something on the side. So it's like, okay, I have an appetite for entrepreneurship, but I don't want to leave my job, and that's fine. It doesn't make you any less of an entrepreneur. It means you're juggling the two. So I think experience creates entrepreneurs. I don't necessarily think that everybody in yeah, I don't necessarily think that everybody that went down the working path could not be an
Okay.
entrepreneur. I think it was a choice
Yeah.
they made, and
Choices.
some are happy with it and some are not.
Choices. I actually agree. I think
Yeah,
everybody, especially everyone created by God, has it in them to fulfill
yeah,
their dreams. But
yeah.
I think it's also taking
Hmm.
that extra step, making the effort, working hard, because it's not going to be handed to you on a platter. You're going to have to strive to work
Right.
hard to fulfill that dream. So great. Okay, now if you've got any questions for TJ, please put it in the comment box, on the question, yeah, not comment box, the question icon on your phone. Any questions for him? Let me see. There's one. I don't know if it's related to this. Before we go on to where is it now?
Sorry, I've gotten really comfortable, so I'm gonna have some plantain.
It's okay. Oh, the question was, I think we've answered that. Yes, TJ is based in Nigeria. The other question was, what if you're not a natural risk taker? How do you just do it? I think we've kind of answered that, but do you want to say a bit more about that?
That's a tough question. If you're not a natural risk taker,
But TJ, would you say you're natural risk? Are you a natural risk taker? Have you always been like this?
I yes and
Okay.
no. But I think sometimes again it goes down to us having titles and diagnosis for various different things. I wouldn't have put it as
Okay.
taking risk. When I was young, my first job, I used to do paper rounds when
Right.
I was like 12,
Yeah.
12, 13.
That was
Um,
here in England.
now for some people
Yeah.
that was in England, yeah. And my desire was I wanted to get certain things and I knew I needed money. So I needed to get a
Yeah.
job to make money, right? And I then made way more money than I needed. To the point that I even remember my mom was worried that I was maybe doing some corrupt things because she couldn't understand how her son was making so much money dropping papers on people's
He's happy.
doorsteps. You know what I mean? But so I back to the question. I don't think I was necessarily born with a high um, risk nature. I'm an adrenaline junkie to
Okay.
some extent, yes, but I think it was just choices. You're
Choices.
shaped by
Yes.
your choices. So because at
Shaped
certain
by
points
it.
in
Yes.
time I made a lot of choices, those choices then shaped my actions. My actions showed
Oh,
me the outcomes, and then at that point I then made a choice as to if I was going to venture there
yeah.
again. And so it's the repeated cycle of choices that nurtures your appetite for risk. So if you're typically someone to
Yeah.
say no, you might have a low risk appetite. If you're typically someone who is, so maybe this is what I can say,
Yeah.
curious people tend to be high risk people. So I've
Curious
always been
people.
very curious. And because I was always
Yes.
curious, curiosity,
Curiosity
typically we
kills
think
the cat.
curiosity killed the cat,
Yes.
right? Curiosity kills the cat. So if you have that mindset, then yes, risk is inevitably in life going to unfold as something that is not for you because you become less and less, or you will find your balance and you won't grow beyond that. But for me, constantly having a curious
Yeah.
mindset to know things, I've always asked why, sometimes to my own
Yeah.
detriment, but it shaped me. So I think, yeah, it's you're not necessarily born it, but the choices you make
Okay.
shape your curiosity. As your curiosity grows, I think, so does your appetite for risk.
Okay, TJ, we've got another question. It said, do you have any role models or who or what motivates you? That's one question.
Okay, role models.
Good question. Sorry, take. Okay.
There are people that I like. Um, so role models. I'm a big fan of Will
Will
Smith.
Smith. Okay.
I'm a big fan of Denzel Washington. I'm a big fan of Anthony Joshua. So I think my role models are not necessary, and these are all successful people, right? So I guess typically role models are affiliated with success, but these are just for me. I just say these are people I can
Okay.
see as living examples, right? There are probably other people who I would call their names if I knew who they were.
Okay.
Um, but my role models are not necessarily tied in with specific businesses, but more character
Okay.
traits. So I like Will Smith because he's very goofy. I can be very goofy. A lot of people see me first and think I'm very serious, but I'm actually a bit of a clown. I'm always clowning around. Again, sometimes to my detriment. I like the class and sophistication of a Denzel Washington. I really like what he's about. I just like the fact that he's a very personal person, but I'm sure those that are around him feed off his energy, and they probably see a different side to him. So yeah, I wouldn't say, I mean, yeah, there's the Richard Bransons. I look up to them in that they've achieved things, but I wouldn't say that. I'm more driven by the character, which I'm also still trying to develop for myself. So success examples are everywhere, but how you approach that success, the character with which you carry yourself, is still what I'm trying to discover.
Okay. All right. And there's still other questions, but I'm going to go on to the next topic for today, which is winning.
Okay.
What does winning mean to you, TJ?
Okay, so I wrote this down because I woke up this morning and I was just like, boy, I had so many ideas and I knew I'd forget them. So I'm just going to read it out. And I said, I believe that winning is not giving up. So to succeed, you have to be consistent with your wins. So I can, in essence, fail, but win because I didn't give up. So somebody else winning might be starting. Somebody else's winning might be maintaining, because you can become successful, but if you don't maintain it, then people will quickly call you a failure. That's why people see people rise and then they forget that very quickly when they fail. So sometimes winning is maintaining success.
I love that, actually.
Sometimes winning is just starting.
Success. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Winning is maintaining success. Sometimes winning is just starting, right? Because we often say, it's true, we don't know what people are going through. So for us, what might seem so simple might actually be a win for someone. I used to be someone who was very active, sports and everything. But right now, in the quarantine period, I am struggling to walk in the morning.
Okay.
And I used to ride 15 miles every day to and from work in England. But right now, a big win for me would be if I could get off my butt and actually just walk for about 45 minutes every morning. But I wake up just in time to start work, and then I give myself the excuse that it's too hot. So sometimes winning is actually in the baby steps. Winning we see as this great big thing, podium and whatever, but sometimes winning can just be baby steps.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's what I would say winning is for me, based on, so I think also winning is relative. Based on where I am right now, winning is not giving up. And you know, it speaks to the magnitude of what I'm trying to do. I'm working with someone. I'm working for someone. His name is Ferdinand Adimefe. That's my boss. That's my friend. That's my brother. He is crazy. He is very, very crazy. He's loopy, right? Sometimes I question his sanity, and I think his wife does too. But that's exactly why I believe that I will win if I stick with him, because he's crazy. There was something that I wanted to mention. So I'll give you an example of another side.
So that I don't forget this. So you said you believe you win because you're with him, right? So does that mean that you need other people to win?
Definitely. In various capacities. You might start out by yourself, but you won't necessarily win without other people. Right? So I'll give you an example, and I'm using myself. Ferdy is someone who's really strong in his faith and his belief. I believe just as strongly that Arsenal will win the Premier League in my lifetime. We both have strong faiths, right? Yeah. Now, sorry, I know it's a, you know. Now
Liverpool.
He calls me Aaron. You know, Auntie, we won't go there right now, because they'll see an uglier side of us both. But you know, he calls me Aaron, and he says, because I'm a helper, right? So in the case of what we're trying to achieve, I very much know that my purpose is tied to helping him achieve his, right? So we typically think of that in a home of a husband and a wife is tied to helping a husband or whatever, but it can also happen in entrepreneurship. Like I said, if I was living out my dream, quote unquote, when I was younger, I'd be a pilot, I'd have wings, I'd be flying. I mean, I'd probably be grounded right now.
Yeah.
Make a bit of cash, drive a Range Rover and whatever. When I came back to Nigeria, I'd always, again, because of my mom, I always felt like, how am I going to tackle this thing?
It's breaking up again. TJ, you break. Oh no, it's break. TJ is breaking up again. We can hear. The audio is gone again. It's breaking up. TJ, we missed a chunk of what you said, so you need to go back a bit. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, but its connection is a bit bad. Hello, TJ, can you hear me? Okay, but you need to retract because we missed a lot of things that you said. No, it's I think
Heard me say.
okay. So start. You can I can't remember now. But I know that whatever he said in the last 5 minutes, can anyone remember what he said? Because it just kept breaking up. So
Okay.
I didn't really hear what you were saying at all.
Okay. So let me. I might skip some. Let me think. Okay. So I was saying that sometimes winning it's not necessarily personal. And again, I think in everything that I'm saying, I can only speak to my experience.
Okay.
I'm a product of my own environment.
Okay.
But for me, winning is service, is being able to help other people.
Okay.
Now, I am by no means a Mother Teresa. I have my own ambitions. I send videos of the homes I want to live in on an almost daily basis to my sister. I have a thing for interior design and architecture. You know, I have aspirations. So it's not that I want to live in the studio for the rest of my life. But I feel that my successes are going to come through other people's success.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like I was saying, Ferdy calls me Aaron.
Yeah.
And you're probably sensing a lot of bromance in our relationship here. But he calls me Aaron, and it's funny that he does that because when I was younger, you know, when I first moved to England, my first name is Olu Adeaga. My Ishakiri name is Torisedri, and I used to get bullied a bit because of my names. So I always wanted to have like a British name. I had Emmanuel, but the kid in school who was called Emmanuel was a bit of a nerd, so I didn't like that. So I always thought the name Aaron was cool.
Okay.
So when he said it, he was like, "Oh, you're an Aaron." I was like, "Ah, would you believe? Like, I used to love that name. Yes, Aaron could be the nickname." Then again, being the pastor he is, he gave me this spiritual, intersexual duality breakdown of it and everything. I was like, "Look, let's just stick with Aaron." But again, I went and read the story of Aaron and discovered that it was very much an embodiment of how I see myself.
Okay.
My idea of winning is helping others win,
Mm.
and I win in return. So there's a consistency to picking people up. There's this my strength is problem solving, which I guess is a fundamental for any entrepreneur. I always
Yeah.
try and find a solution to a problem. Now, it's not to say that I'm always positive in how I approach it, but for me, I will get frustrated and I'll say, okay, cool, how do we get out? Or sometimes I'll look at it and I'll say, there's an opportunity there. So I compliment him because he very much works from a mindset of this is what we need to do. And I'm like, this is how we need to do it. So I win when I do, you know, the things that I know are what's the word? Working to my
Okay.
strengths. Working to my strengths. The best way to win is to work to your strengths. The best way to grow is to work to your
The
weaknesses.
best way to win is to work to your strength, and the best way to grow is to work to your
Is to work with your
weaknesses.
weaknesses.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
Yeah?
Yep. So, okay, I think I've asked the question. Winning is you cannot win on your own. You need others to help you win,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Guys,
100%.
if you have any questions for TJ, we've got probably 5 minutes or so left. So just send in your questions. Yeah. TJ, thank you so much. This has been
What?
yes, masterclass. And I'm sure that sometime in the future we are going to have you back because this has been
For sure.
Really, really good.
For sure. For sure.
And
thank you for
no,
having me. Thank you for
I should
having
say
me.
thank you for coming on and giving us all these nuggets. And I can see people, the best way to win is to work to your strength. Yes. And the best way to grow is to, I'm going to quote that. I actually love that. The best way to grow is to work with your weakness. Yes. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's one question, let's see, and we'll try and answer that before we go. Let's see. TJ, someone's asked, are you single?
No, I'm not.
He's not single.
You have to put that disclaimer out there, otherwise that's another risk not worth taking, basically. So
there's so many questions.
yeah.
How do you overcome fear of failure? How do you overcome fear or shame of failure? That's a question. So I'll just
How do
give you
you
another question.
overcome?
Does TJ agree that the environment can affect the success of your business? Yeah. Okay. So which one?
Sorry, what was
The
the what
first
was?
one was,
I actually want to answer
okay,
both,
go on.
but yeah,
How
what
do
was
you
the first
overcome
one?
fear of? How do you overcome fear or shame of failure?
I don't think there's one answer for that, because my personal answer is because I'm stubborn. So in a sense, I get back up because I don't want to be down. I'm too stubborn. It's like I failed too much. You know what I mean? So if like as they say, you've come too far.
To go back.
So what was the point in the failure? Yeah, what was the point in every failure after the first one? After the first one, you should have just gone and got the
But
job
TJ,
and be
how
done
do you
with it.
know where? Because it's not
Yeah.
everything that you attempt to do that you succeed in. So
Mm-hmm.
when do you know when to stop?
100%. I'll let you know if I get to that point. That's like I can't give a premedicated
Okay.
answer to that in terms of how do you know when to
So
stop.
you just
I
keep
think I
going.
think experience has taught me. Sometimes I find my feet in the most unexpected places, because I'd be lying if I said that I haven't been at points where I thought this
Okay.
is it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then for
Yeah.
whatever reason, it wasn't it. You know what I mean? So it's again, it just depends. For me personally, it's how stubborn are you? How
How
determined are you
determined are
that
you?
you are going
Yeah.
to get to where? Yes. So you have a Mark Zuckerberg who becomes a billionaire before he's
Yeah.
25. You have a Colonel Sanders who starts KFC in his
Yeah.
70s. People start at different points. Some people don't even start till they're
Yeah.
40, right? Colonel Sanders started in his
60s.
60s. I'll give you an example. Thomas Edison is acclaimed for creating current, the light
Yeah.
bulb, and everything. But a lot of people don't know Tesla was his competitor.
Oh, okay.
Now, the name Tesla today is celebrated. Yes, Tesla was a Serbian, his partner, but they had two different views. They were both crazy in creating current together, but then they had two different views as to how current should be harnessed. So that's why today we have AC and DC on the currents, right? DC was Edison, AC is Tesla. Today, AC is
Yeah.
favored. Today, we see the success of Tesla, right? Now, obviously, he passed away, but he kept going, and somebody came and saw it and said, light bulb, this works so much
Yeah.
better. And today, now, Tesla is one of the fastest selling cars. They're doing Tesla LNG. They're flying to the moon. So, yeah, I there's no one answer as to when do you
Stop. Yeah.
pack it in. Yeah, when do you stop? If there's anything I'd say to that is, if why would you stop when you've come so
Oh,
far?
there's this song I'm trying to
Take a
remember.
break, but don't
Anyway,
stop.
there's a song that says it.
Yeah. So,
But
what was
the second
the
one,
second
oh
question?
gosh, TJ, we only have let me see. The second one was does TJ agree that your environment can affect the success of your business?
100%. I live in
Yeah.
Nigeria. Like I cannot the environment. There's such a thing as an enabling environment. So there's it's no coincidence that and a lot of Nigerians that go abroad, do better. They thrive, even if it's just in a job. So this is not just speaking to entrepreneurship. So the type of environment you're in can definitely have an effect on how well or how quickly your business grows or is exposed. Particularly, so like I said, we're in Nigeria, a developing country that has a lot of obstacles that we all know about. You're trying to do animation that's not really on people's radar. You're asking for more money than Nollywood studios ask for a film. It's not very enabling. It's not very forward thinking. So I'm going to keep it short because I know we're short on time. But yeah, your environment plays a huge factor. Now, can people defy their environments? Yes, because a lot of people who have succeeded have come from abusive homes, or drug abuse or whatever. Yes, so there will always be wins of people who defy the norm, but there is definitely a correlation that the probability is higher if you're in a better environment.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, TJ. Oh my goodness, this has been awesome. And like I said, sometime in the future, we are going to have you back because you have
no problem,
young man, but you have such a wealth of experience. You have so much wisdom. And, I want to thank God for your mother's life, for all that she's put in you. Sister Abby, well done. But then also well done to you too. Well done. Thank you so much, TJ. And we'll see you again soon.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sure thing, Nancy. Yeah.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have been blessed today. We've got just 3 minutes to go. I don't know if the person who is friends with Ceci is on. I can add you on quickly just so that we can see your face. So send me a request. But if not, I want to leave you with this scripture that I came across. Everything was said now. We've said about winning, dreaming. God puts the desire in you. Even the dream is from God. And I believe that every single thing we do or we want to do, we should always take it back to God. So if you look at the menu, if you come across today's menu, I did put there conversation with God. We don't have time to spend a lot of time on that. But what I want you to do is go back in your quiet time and have this conversation with God about your dreams, your aspirations, and even winning. And the scripture I want to leave you with today is taken from Job 22, verse 28. It says, this is the New Living Translation. It says, you will succeed in whatever you choose to do, and light will shine on the road ahead of you. But I would advise that you go back to verse 22, read it from verse 22. And basically what it's saying is that submit to God. Whatever it is that you want to do, submit it to God. And then you make that choice to pursue that dream, to not give up. I saw one of the comments, somebody put, the question that we asked TJ about, I asked TJ about, when do you know to stop? Somebody put, take a break, and then you continue. So submit to God. So Job 22, 28, but if you read from verse 22, submit to God and then make that choice. You remember TJ said something about choices. A lot of the things we do in life is about choices. We make those choices. There's a topic we always talk about. One of our topics at the Esther's mentoring scheme is my decision determines my destiny. If you want to succeed in life, you're going to have to make that choice. No one else can come and make that choice for you. You have to decide that come what may, I am going to pursue. I'm going to run with this dream. But remember, winning is not about yourself. It's not about you. You win to make an impact, at least for me. I win to make a difference. I win to make an impact. It is not about me. It's about what God has called me to do. I do it afraid. Yes. And I'm Sibika. I miss you, but I do it afraid. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having you here. And we'll see you again next week when we'll have, guess who? Felicia back with us. And then the following week, we'll have, you can guess who we'll have. Yeah, you know her. I'm not going to mention her name, but you all know her. That lady, that special lady, she's going to come and talk to us about parenting.